WNBA owners, executives, and many people in high power is pretty much spilling the beans about Cathy Engelbert turmoil with players for more.
Look, the WNBA is in serious trouble, and I'm not just talking about some minor drama. It's falling apart from the inside, and honestly, Adam Silver might be the only one who can actually save it. We're talking about angry players, frustrated owners, and a commissioner on thin ice. This collective bargaining agreement battle could genuinely end the league as we know it. So a quick question for you, do you think Adam Silver should step in, or should the WNBA be left to fix its own mess? Because right now, the WNBA is in full-blown chaos mode again, melting down over this new CBA, and guess what? Once more, Adam Silver, the NBA's commissioner, has to come in and clean everything up.
It's an interesting one because it seems like the WNBA owners hate Cathy Engelbert as much as the players do and as much as the fans do. It genuinely seems like there's not one person in the WNBA ecosystem.
And that's not just my opinion. Even league insiders are quietly admitting that without Silver stepping in, this whole thing could spiral completely out of control. So let's quickly set the stage here. The WNBA's current CBA, the agreement that decides player pay, benefits, and literally all working conditions, expires on October 31st. You might think that sounds far away, right? Wrong. Because talks are already breaking down big time. According to the latest ESPN report, negotiations are completely stuck on everything from revenue sharing to charter flights to basic salaries. The players are screaming for more money and way better travel conditions, while the owners, on the other hand, just want to stop losing millions every single season. And here's the absolute kicker. Both sides might actually have a valid point. The league lost roughly $40 million in 2024, even with Caitlin Clark's massive fan draw. That's not just bad, it's brutal. Seriously, it's been nearly 3 decades, and the WNBA has never turned a profit.
We gotta remember, everybody's talking about the players in all of this. The owners have their priorities too. And I think there's a very interesting comment in here from one of the owners about the state of the league and that maybe the players aren't realizing where the state of the league is exactly.
Alright, so the players are understandably wanting a bigger slice of the pie, but the harsh reality is there's not much pie to even go around. Las Vegas Aces star Chelsea Gray openly told ESPN, "We're not where we thought we'd be," and then she listed off literally everything that's still unresolved: salaries, safety, travel, housing, basically every single thing that actually matters. Meanwhile, the owners are staring at their balance sheets, asking a pretty fair question: how much more money can we possibly lose before someone just calls it quits?
It says here, changes a must. Have the owners lost faith in Cathy Engelbert? She was obviously booed off. It says once you have that kind of fighting with your best players, one team exec said, it's a death spiral. Tensions brewed throughout the WNBA season as players and coaches expressed frustration with officiating, and as CBA negotiations intensified, but with the conversation shifted especially towards Engelbert during the semi-finals. Obviously, we know about Fee's exit interview and the Caitlin Clark talk, and Cathy Engelbert basically said it wasn't true.
And we all know the whispers. One owner reportedly told ESPN, the league is still not that strong. It's got a long way to go. You screw up the momentum right now and you're messing with your livelihoods for future generations. In other words, stop pretending this is the NBA. And honestly, he's right. The WNBA has momentum. Absolutely, but it has zero stability. Remember when Caitlin Clark got injured and was ruled out for the rest of the year? The hype train slammed to a halt instantly. The ratings dipped, attendance stalled, and suddenly all those record-breaking numbers didn't look so strong anymore. Some fans even said they stopped watching completely once Clark was sidelined, while others just threw their hands up and were done with the drama altogether. And here's where the sarcasm basically writes itself. You've got a league fighting over how to split revenue it doesn't even have. That's like arguing over who gets the bigger slice of an imaginary cake.
Talking about a league that in 2024, with Caitlin Clark, lost $40 million. Still.
The league's financial reality hasn't changed a bit. They've been around since 1997 and still rely incredibly heavily on the NBA's funding and sponsorship deals. Without that safety net, the WNBA would have folded a long time ago. Yet somehow the players are pushing for more bigger contracts, revenue growth clauses, and guaranteed charter flights for every single team. Now I totally get it, they deserve better treatment, but here's the massive problem. None of this matters if the league keeps bleeding cash. One executive summed it up perfectly when they said, if you fire the commissioner now, it makes the NBA look weak, but if you keep her, nothing changes. That her, of course, is Cathy Engelbert, the current WNBA commissioner, and right now, nobody seems to like her.
Then Engelbert. One of the lasting images of the WNBA season was Engelbert getting relentlessly booed by the crowd at Phoenix's Mortgage Matchup Center during the Aces Championship Trophies presentation. A smaller group of fans continued the ruckus as she walked off the court and into a tunnel. They was booing her, they was flicking her off, all types of stuff. She got absolutely clowned.
Driven by sheer defiance, players are absolutely frustrated, owners are exhausted, and even the fans are just plain confused. There's a lot of talk that Engelbert has lost complete control of the league, and that, my friends, is exactly where Adam Silver steps in. See, technically, the WNBA operates entirely under the NBA umbrella, which means Adam Silver isn't just a bystander, he is the ultimate authority figure, and sources are saying he's already getting much more involved behind the scenes, pushing both sides to seriously cool off before they burn down the whole operation. Because here's the truly scary part, a work stoppage, basically a strike or lockout, could kill the WNBA completely. One insider put it bluntly, a work stoppage doesn't benefit anybody, it'll kill this league. And honestly, he's not exaggerating. Right now, the WNBA has one superstar who moves the needle, Caitlin Clark. Yes, there are other good players, absolutely, but none who consistently pull massive national attention like she does. So, if the league pauses play for months over contract fights, that precious new fan base, the one Clark helped bring in, is gone. And once fans leave, trust me, they don't come back. We've already seen that pattern. When Clark got injured, fans tuned out immediately. Now, just imagine if there's no season at all. Do you really think people are going to choose a WNBA labor dispute over the NFL, college football, or the NBA? Not a chance. And here's where Adam Silver's patience is wearing incredibly thin. He spent years quietly supporting the WNBA, providing funding, marketing, and PR help, and now it's all turning into a public embarrassment. This was supposed to be the year women's basketball arrived. Big crowds, massive TV coverage, social media buzz everywhere. Instead, the headlines are all about failed leadership, financial losses, and pure labor chaos. Silver absolutely cannot let that happen, not when he's trying to pitch the NBA as a global inclusive brand. A collapsing WNBA makes the whole organization look weak, so expect him to step in soon, maybe not publicly, but behind the scenes, he'll definitely be pulling strings. He's already defended Engelbert in interviews, saying she's overseen some of the strongest growth in league history, but even he knows the numbers don't actually back that up. The growth has been mostly hype, Caitlin Clark hype to be exact. And if that fades, the brutal reality kicks in. Empty seats, weak ratings, and no profit. The truth is, the WNBA's business model fundamentally doesn't work. It's been 27 years of the same exact story, new slogans, new stars, same old losses. Now with the CBA expiring and everyone pointing fingers, Adam Silver might have to decide whether to completely rebuild the league or finally just let it sink. And honestly, he might not even have a choice, because if players keep demanding more money and owners keep losing millions, the math simply doesn't add up. You can't run a league forever on just good intentions and NBA charity. So unless something changes fast, the WNBA could be facing its biggest crisis ever. Let's talk about Adam Silver's next move, because this man does not step into a fire unless he's got a plan. Silver knows that firing Cathy Engelbert right now would be an absolute PR disaster. It would make the NBA look like it lost control of its sister league, and that's not a good look when you're trying to convince sponsors that women's basketball is booming. But here's the actual problem. Everyone inside the WNBA knows things aren't booming, they're breaking. According to multiple reports, even the owners have lost confidence in Engelbert. One executive reportedly told ESPN, "If I had a vote, I'd probably ask for a replacement." That's a brutal statement coming from the very people signing the checks. Because let's face it, owners aren't saints, they're investors. They expect returns, not excuses. And after nearly 3 decades of waiting, they've clearly had enough. Some even said they should be compensated for keeping the league alive all these years. Think about that. The people who own the teams want money back from the league that's supposed to make them money. That's how bad it's gotten. You know how everyone keeps saying women's sports are growing. The WNBA has been growing for 27 years, and it's still not self-sustaining. Adam Silver knows that if this CBA negotiation goes sideways, it won't just be bad, it'll be catastrophic. A work stoppage or strike would absolutely crush whatever momentum Caitlin Clark created this season. Fans are already losing interest. Remember when Clark went down injured? The ratings dropped overnight. People didn't care about the rest of the season. Even Fever fans stopped watching. Now imagine what happens if there's no season at all. The casual fans, the ones who just tuned in this year, will move on to football, baseball, UFC, you name it, and they won't come back. One insider told ESPN straight up, "A work stoppage doesn't benefit anybody. It'll kill this league." And they're right. The WNBA doesn't have the cushion to survive a strike like the NBA or MLB can. This league runs on razor-thin margins and NBA goodwill, and the NBA won't keep pumping money into a league that's fighting itself. So here's where Adam Silver comes in. He's basically got 2 jobs now: calm the owners down and convince the players not to blow everything up. Simple on paper, impossible in reality, because both sides think they're right. The players say, "We are the product." The owners say, "You are the product, but you're also the expense." That's the tug of war right now. And the funny part, both sides are ignoring the obvious truth. Without Caitlin Clark, none of this would even be a conversation. The league's sudden attention and increased viewership, that's all her. The so-called growth, also her. But you simply cannot build a stable league on just one player. That's the NBA's biggest fear right now, that the WNBA has turned into a one-woman show, because the moment she's out, the whole structure collapses. And Silver's not stupid. He knows that if the WNBA falls apart, it reflects on him too. So what's he doing? He's buying time. Expect talks to keep dragging out while Silver quietly reshuffles things behind the scenes. He'll likely pressure Engelbert to make some small wins, lock in charter flights, increase player safety funds, maybe raise salaries a little. Enough to show progress, but not enough to bankrupt the league. At the same time, he'll make sure owners don't panic and start cutting costs mid-season, because if one team folds or refuses to play ball, it could trigger a domino effect. But let's be honest, even Silver can't fix everything. This CBA fight is exposing much deeper cracks in the league. For example, the owners aren't all on the same page. The ones tied to NBA franchises see the WNBA as an investment, but the independent ones see it as a cash drain, so their goals just don't match up. Then you've got the players who are tired of hearing the leagues still growing while seeing NBA-level sponsorships being handed out everywhere else. They want bigger contracts, better living conditions, and more respect. And they absolutely deserve those things, but again, someone has to pay for it. It's like everyone's pretending money just falls from the sky. Meanwhile, the fans are caught right in the middle, tired of bad officiating, confused by the league's constant PR disasters, and now bracing for a possible shutdown. You simply can't keep telling fans women's basketball is rising while every headline is about internal drama. Even Chelsea Gray admitted, "We're not where we wanted to be." That's putting it lightly. The truth is, the WNBA is playing with fire. They finally have public attention for the first time in years, and they're completely wasting it. When you have a star like Caitlin Clark driving ticket sales, merchandise, and record-breaking ratings, you build around that. You promote her, you protect her, and you use that moment to lift the entire league. Instead, the WNBA seems completely allergic to its own success. They want to spread the spotlight evenly, which sounds fair, until you realize that's exactly why no one watches. Fans don't tune in for equality charts. They tune in for stars. And like it or not, Caitlin Clark is the star. She's the one who moves merchandise. She's the reason people who've never watched women's basketball before suddenly care. But the league doesn't seem to get that. They're so worried about hurting feelings that they're completely missing the business reality. And that's where Adam Silver's intervention might save them. Or at least delay the collapse, because Silver is a businessman first. He doesn't care about narratives, he cares about numbers. If that means reshaping the WNBA's leadership, he'll do it. If that means merging operations more closely with the NBA, he'll do that too. Whatever keeps the lights on, and honestly, he might not have much time left. The next few months will decide whether the WNBA grows or folds under its own pressure, because this CBA negotiation isn't just about contracts, it's about survival. If the owners don't get a deal they can live with, they'll start looking for exit. If the players don't get the respect they want, they'll walk. And if fans get bored, they'll disappear faster than last season's hype. The truth is harsh. The WNBA doesn't have the fan loyalty or financial cushion to survive another major screw-up. And unless Adam Silver takes full control soon, the league could be one bad negotiation away from total collapse. So what do you think? Can Adam Silver actually save the WNBA from itself? Or is this really the beginning of the end? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share, because this story is far from over. See you next time on Black and White Sports.